Hello. I don't know what camera to look at. The monitors are on. Okay. Hello.
This one.
We are live. Welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. We are so excited to be back this semester. We have great things in store for you all. I'm Tara Spells.
I'm Tyler Landis.
And I'm Anastasia Scott.
And oh gosh, I'm really excited to be back to the podcast because I like just hanging out and talking about stuff.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. So we're gonna get started with our really cool topics. Who wants to go first?
I say Anastasia should go first.
Oh, yay. Okay, so my topic is the new Mutants movie, which, if you haven't heard of it, that's okay. It's been
no one has.
issues for the last, It was supposed to come out last year.
April, right?
Last year of April, and then it got pushed back to this February, and then it's like, oh no, again, we are being pushed back to April. So the official release date is now April 2nd.
For now.
For now.
Until they push
of
it
this
back.
year.
Oh, and then they're gonna be like, so 2020.
2020 in February, we swear.
There is also rumors that it's just going to get pushed back to Hulu even now. To like...
That's so sad.
It is so sad. Because,
Like if you get pushed back to Netflix, like that's okay, you know, but like
Hulu's great.
I don't have Hulu.
Hulu's so good.
Speaking of Hulu, I watched the Fire Festival documentaries on both Netflix. I watched the Hulu one. I didn't watch it on Hulu, but I watched it.
I've yet to watch them.
And they were good. Okay, sorry. Continue.
No, you're fine.
Hi, Liz. By the way, she put a little heart
Oh.
in the group in the little chat.
Hi, Liz.
Hello, Liz.
Throw a heart in there.
We love you, weather girl. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
But the trailer came out October 13th of 2017, and everybody was really, really excited for it because it was like a whole new genre that was going to be explored with superhero films. Because it was going to be horror, like a
Wait, is
psychological.
this the one with Maisie Williams?
It is the
That's
one with Maisie Williams.
Okay.
It's got a really good cast. Like we have on the cast is Anya Taylor-Joy, who was in the Split movie
Okay.
as the main character, and she
Gotcha.
was also in
The Witch.
The Witch and that
Or The Vitch.
The Witch,
Bitch.
and then Glass.
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah,
in
I think
Glass.
she's
I saw
in
her in the
Glass.
trailer.
Yeah, she was in Glass, and then we also have Maisie Williams, who is
Right on.
Game of Thrones.
Arya Stark.
From Game of Thrones. And then we also have Charlie Heaton, who is in Stranger Things as Jonathan.
Okay.
And
Prime.
then Alicia Braga, who she's been in quite a few things. I can't think of off the top of my head what she's been in. Of course I can't. She was in I Am Legend and Predators and like
Movies I haven't seen.
some people have seen them. And then also our main man from the Spy Kids movies, Antonio Banderas, who's the dad
I
from
thought
Spy
you were going
Kids.
to talk about the dude.
Oh, no, not the other guy.
The actual main character.
No.
What's his, I don't remember his name, but apparently he's dating Amy Schumer now.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, never mind. I'll tell you guys about it later.
Poor
But-
man.
so-
Poor man.
They're all in it, but the whole idea of it is they are 5 mutants who are kind of apart from the main X-Men story, but they're also kind of linked.
Okay.
But they're all like just discovering their abilities and stuff like that, and they get taken to a facility that's also a mental hospital.
Okay.
Okay.
And they, like, it looks like there's a lot of visions and scary things that are happening. And it's in the trailer, they even say it's not like an actual hospital. It feels like a haunted house. In the trailer, they say that.
Right.
And the director, Josh Boone, has said he got inspiration from the Nightmare on Elm Street's Dream Warriors, and then also John Hughes films, which is a very interesting combination.
That is
That's
a weird
a-
combination.
But I kind of get where he's going with it, because it's like he wants that scary, like, ooh, I don't know if everything's real or not, but also having the, like,
The sort of
teen, like, we're together on this,
Yeah,
and,
that
like,
makes
good
sense.
team development kind of stuff.
Okay. I could dig that. That'd be
It
very
looks really
nice.
cool. I'm really excited for it if it ever comes out. And
We'll
it's
get there.
supposed to
One
be
day. One day.
Ever comes out.
it's supposed to be the first of 3 films as well.
Oh.
So
Well,
that's
they're not
exciting.
off to a good start.
No.
They haven't released the first
But-
one,
No.
and they may never.
It's going to be 2057, and then I'm like, okay, here's the second one.
But
Okay.
to start out, we have all the different characters. So there's Blue Hunt, who hasn't been in a lot, but she's playing Danielle Moonstar, or Mirage, who can create illusions from the fears and desires of others.
That makes
Which
sense.
is a really cool
A name
ability.
like Mirage, that makes sense.
It's kind of cool.
And
Yeah.
then
I don't know much about the X-Men, so
I don't either, so you're gonna fill us in.
yeah.
well, these
yeah.
are kind of like the weird kind of ones as well. Like they're
Right.
not as well known.
This
so
is
that's
X-Men
fun.
Education Time.
It is.
Yeah.
Which camera am I looking at? X-Men Education Time.
No, it's this
No,
one.
it's that one.
X-Men Education
That one
Time
has things.
with Anastasia Scott.
Okay, and
She's a
then
doctor,
Anya
PhD.
Taylor-Joy
Yes.
is going to play Elanya Rasputin, or Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Elanya is actually the sister of, oh gosh, what's his name? Peter Rasputin, who is Colossus, who is in the Deadpool movies and stuff
Oh,
like
yes.
that.
We love Colossus.
He's so good.
It's for you,
But
Colossus.
with her name being Magic, she's a sorceress, obviously, and she
Oh,
gets a lot of her abilities and stuff like that from a plane or dimension
Okay.
called
I
Limbo.
thought when you said plane, I was like an airplane.
I know, I was like, whoa!
like just it flies over all the time. Like
She's like,
it's really
yeah.
weird. Don't know how they're gonna fit that in, but okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then Henry Zaga, who also hasn't been in a lot, is going to be Roberto de Costa, or Sunspot.
Oh, I remember people talking about that.
He was in Days of Future Past very, very shortly.
Really?
But
Okay,
yes, very,
okay.
very quickly. But he can manipulate solar energies and use them in different ways. So he can like fly or have super strength or something like that. And then Maisie Williams, everybody's favorite Stark. I don't watch Game of
I'm
Thrones,
the
I'm
Game of
sorry.
I
Thrones
don't either.
expert here.
But she is going to be
I'm not an expert on anything.
She's going to be Rain Sinclair, or Wolfsbane.
Oh, we stand.
And
That's a
she's
dope name.
she's a character who struggles with her religious beliefs,
Okay.
but she's also a werewolf. Pretty essentially.
That's really cool.
That's
Like,
super cool.
She's really cool.
I feel like she deserves her own movie, and she probably will get it. So,
And then
depending on
This
how it
one
goes.
can even
Oh,
come
yeah,
out.
no
I mean,
kidding. Please, I just
this
want
one won't
movie.
come out. She'll just get her own like
Did her
spin-off.
X-Men movie get pushed back recently?
Dark Phoenix. Because, well, there was supposed to be 3 X-Men films coming out last year. So it was going to be Deadpool 2, Dark Phoenix, and, excuse me, and New Mutants. Well, Dark Phoenix and New Mutants both got pushed back.
Oof.
And so Phoenix is going to be coming out this February, and then New Mutants is supposed to come out in April.
Maybe that's why they pushed back New Mutants.
That's
because
what I
of Dark
think
Phoenix.
was the thing.
Just so they're not like, hey, here's an X-Men movie, and here's another X-Men movie.
Charlie Heaton is going to be playing Sam Guthrie, who is also Cannonball, is his
Cannonball.
mutant name.
Oh, comic books.
But
What
his
5-year-old named him?
He's from Kentucky.
Comic book
That makes
characters-
sense.
Comic book characters, especially, hey Liz, she just sent me a message.
Love
Okay,
you, Liz.
but comic book characters have very, very silly names, especially the more obscure ones.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, it's like, who are you? Like,
But he's going to be playing Cannonball. And his ability is he can propel himself like with like he can propel himself into the air using like a force field, and he becomes like invulnerable. So he can like
so
fly
he
and stuff
becomes
like
a
that.
cannonball.
He becomes a
He
cannonball when he
is
hits.
the cannonball
He is
coming
the
this fall.
And then Alicia Braga is going to be Dr. Celia Reyes,
Okay.
who in the comic was a like mentor to the New Mutants, and she's able to generate a protective biofield around herself. But after her dad died, she dedicated herself to medicine, and also refused to be in Xavier's school, in the comics books at least.
Okay.
But it looks like in this one, she's going to be less of a mentor and more of a bad guy, maybe, because she's like one of the doctors that's keeping them there at the hospital.
Okay.
But
maybe like
she might turn around. We don't
Yeah.
know.
maybe she's
and-
like evil, but like also is like sweet on them.
Yeah.
You know?
She's like the good bad guy.
Yeah.
And then
Like
I'm
help,
going to.
she'll
I'm
help him break out. You know, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I'm hearing your or like your groans at this, but the one of the antagonists that's going to be in this film is literally called Demon Bear.
That's adorable. And I don't know why you thought I would groan at that, because that is amazing.
But he is like this weird, like dream kind of sequence character who appears after Mirage or Danielle Moonstar, the character who can like make illusions out of your dreams and fears and stuff like that. After her parents die in a hunting accident, And so I think what the idea of it is that she created something because she was so scared of like what killed her parents. So she made something in her mind that just like haunts everyone now.
Okay.
Because like originally in the comic books, she kept it to herself. Like it would like haunt her dreams, and it would be like, hey, I'm gonna get you, and like I killed your parents and all this stuff. She was like,
Yikes.
I'm not gonna talk about it. And then all of a sudden it appears and like brings everybody together, you know, as one does. But apparently he is not the main villain. But he is, apparently that arc in the comics was what kind of like really brought the New Mutants like into comic book like fame. Like, because you know how Jessica Jones had Kilgrave, like as like that was the main one or whatever. Well, Moonbear or
Moonbear.
Moonbear.
Excuse me, Demon Bear is
Demon
apparently
Bear?
the
I'm not
same
sure which
thing.
one is worse. Demon Bear.
But he's not the main villain, and we don't know who the main villain is. In the trailer, there is a character that has a very has a white smiley face like mask, and maybe he's the villain, but we don't know. He could just be a dream sequence character. But it's thought that Antonio Banderas might be playing the villain.
I'd be okay with that.
He's a good guy.
He would be a great villain.
I do like Antonio Banderas.
But I'm really
like him in
excited
anything.
that if this really comes out, because like a horror movie,
Maybe one day.
but like a horror movie as a hero film, or superhero film, I think is a really interesting combination that we haven't gotten to see yet.
Yeah.
Unless you count Chronicle, which I don't.
Yeah. I'd say like the horror movie type like superhero thing is a thing that gets thrown around but
Yeah,
never
but
really
nobody does it.
never really made properly.
Yeah.
Like they tried it with Venom slightly.
Yeah.
But like
But
it's,
Venom was also like a romantic comedy.
Oh, it
so
was so good.
It was so silly, but I loved Venom. But yeah, I would like to see it because I know the Russo brothers. Like I remember talking about it on a different episode of the podcast. That the Russo brothers, when they made Winter Soldier, they were like, "Oh, we like to take superhero movies and put them in like different genres of movies."
Yeah.
So like that's why the Winter Soldier was like a
psychological,
like a spy
espionage
thriller and stuff like that.
and that's why it's the best one.
It is true.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not just a superhero movie; it's
Something else.
yeah. So it would be cool to see more them take on different
exactly.
genres and stuff like that.
What else is there to talk about that movie? Apparently also the reason why it got reshoots was because they were planning on releasing it around February or April of last year, but with the success of it, they were like, okay, everybody really likes horror right now, so we're gonna see what people think of that. So they cut the trailer so that it seemed really, really horror-esque. And then we're like, wow, this was received really well. We're gonna do a whole bunch of reshoots to make it more horror, which apparently was.
It's gonna
I'm
be real
hoping,
bad.
but apparently that was originally the director's idea, was to make this super horror. But Fox was like, bring it back. And then they released a trailer, and everybody was like, oh my gosh,
This is so cool.
this is gonna be so good. And then they were like, okay, instead we'll try what you want to do. And then also apparently some reshoots were done to add another character. So
That's even worse.
boy.
That's
I'm
so much
interested
worse.
to see.
Nah, you shouldn't be.
I'm interested, okay? And then Anya Taylor-Joy and both Maisie Williams have been like, just wait, it'll be good. Like,
Aww,
we'll
I love
see.
both of them so much.
And like,
Like I promise, it's not gonna be
yeah,
bad.
they're like, don't worry, the
Fingers
reshoots
crossed.
and the
It's okay.
pushing it back over and over again, it just means that it's gonna have more time to be the best it can be. And I'm like,
I don't
I
know.
hope so.
I don't know if that's proper.
I'm so excited
10 out of
for
10.
it.
10 out of 10.
We'll see.
I just want it so bad. Please, it's all I ever wanted.
I mean, I'll definitely check it out.
feel that.
So
I'll probably drag one of you guys to go see it with me.
that's fair. All right.
Okay.
I suppose we can
Okay. So for our next topic, we're going to move on to some more comic book stuff and go on to Tyler because he wants to talk about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man. I got the game for Christmas,
Ooh.
and it's all I played.
I have
It's
yet
so
to
much
get
fun.
the game, but
Really?
I know.
It's so fun.
I know I really need to get it because not only on top of the fact that it's a Spider-Man game, but Spider-Man is voiced by the same voice actor that voices Sasuke in Naruto.
Yes, Yuri Terry something or other.
I don't remember.
I don't know
Luthen?
anything about
I
anime.
love him.
Anyway, Naruto's amazing. Sasuke's angsty. That's all you need to know about Naruto, really.
Okay.
Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Spider-Man Far From Home.
I'm so excited to see it. I love Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
Jake Gyllenhaal is playing
man.
Mysterio, who is posing as a hero, but he is hero. I'm sorry, he's a villain. He's a villain.
it's
All right.
okay.
And his big bubble.
His big bubble.
His little bubble.
He's rocking the fish bowl,
He's
which
back to
has
the
made
boy in
a
the
ton
plastic
of.
bubble.
Oh my God, I forgot. It's
I love Jake
It's come full circle.
I know. Oh my God, he's.
But
I love it.
yeah, so Spider-Man Far From Home stars, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Tom Holland,
Oh.
who we all thought died. So is
So
he really?
Clearly, he's not.
And
wonder-
apparently this isn't a prequel,
No,
according to the Russo
that's
brothers.
Right.
They kept saying it was though. Was
That's
like
weird.
like
Well,
before.
obviously because Infinity War.
Yeah, before they were like, oh yeah, it's a prequel, and we were like, what? Why is it gonna be a prequel? That's silly.
They're just
And
making
they're like,
stuff.
oh, because he died.
I wonder what sort of the insiders thing was going on at Marvel. Were they like, should we release this trailer or should we wait until Endgame comes out?
Right.
Or should we just do it now and figure it out? Because everybody knows, they're going to come back because the movie had been announced.
Exactly.
The pictures of them on set had showed up around
Plus,
the
on
internet.
top of that, I watched a video of, I think it was a What Culture video. They were discussing how some toys got released, and that's apparently the huge leak on everything.
Oh, yeah, when toys
Oh.
come out,
Yeah.
people know when when Civil War was coming out, there was a toy of
Spider-Man?
of Giant Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and that's
people,
how
people
that
were like,
got
oh my God! So yeah.
But so apparently a whole bunch of new stuff got released
For
based on those toys
Endgame or for
for
Spider-Man?
Endgame.
I did see
Yeah.
those Endgame ones
I
because I saw
haven't seen them.
Valkyrie.
Burgery.
I saw
Valkyrie?
Valkyrie.
Who?
And I was like, Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson.
I love her.
Oh,
She was
But-
probably my favorite character in that
Oh
movie.
yeah,
She was pretty
She was
good.
awesome. But so okay, sorry.
Spider-Man.
Let's continue. Spider-Man.
All right. So, I don't even remember where I was at. Anyway, so I'm thinking, because we've seen, Peter Parker in this universe or whatever, what if it's, we watched, Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. What if this takes place in a different universe or different dimension? Think about that. What if it's not even in the future? What if they don't get saved? What if it's just in a different universe?
this is
literally-
Spider-Verse. It's
You
just
literally
Spider-Verse.
just stressed me out.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
think about it.
I
Wouldn't
don't-
that blow your mind?
No, I'd be stressed and annoyed.
Because what if that's the reason that Happy, Tony Stark's, write him in or whatever, is flirting with Aunt May? Because in our universe, Tony Stark flirts with Aunt May. But in this one, Happy and
Have
Aunt
you
May
seen
a
it?
Tyler.
thing. No, but I'm just saying.
I
What if
would
that's
flirt
already a
with Aunt
thing?
May.
I'm just saying. What if that's already a thing? What if we're getting deep into that? All right. What if this is a whole other thing? What if that's why Tony Stark isn't there? What if
Probably because he's
Probably because he dies.
But what if he's not?
in
But what if he's
Endgame.
not? What if it's in a different universe?
No, it's not that type.
That doesn't make any
Think
sense.
about
Makes
that.
any sense. I need a diagram.
That theory-
We need a whiteboard.
That's over.
Just
That's
like-
canceled.
Think about that. I'm just saying.
We've canceled that
I'm just saying. Think about it.
Don't
all right.
think about it. It's a
Don't
bad
think
idea.
about
Go
that.
home,
People
sit
were
on
like,
that.
People were like, oh my, when he brings in the big
Yeah.
check, people were like, oh my God, it says Pepper Potts on it. That means Tony Stark is dead. But
Nah,
he
she's
gave
she's
her.
the
She's
CEO.
the CEO.
That's what that means.
So I was like, oh.
I did see they had a little Uncle Ben reference though in the film.
Yes, when it's
In the
his
suitcase, the suitcase says
BFP. BFP.
BFP.
Stands for Benjamin, possibly Franklin.
Parker.
Yeah.
And I was like, aw, we finally get an Uncle Ben reference. Like,
Aw,
I just
love
want to
Uncle
know what
Ben.
Uncle Ben looks like. Like,
It
just
better
tell
be
me.
Tobey Maguire. If it's not, I'm gonna be very upset.
Is Tobey Maguire even old enough to be Uncle Ben? I know,
He's.
I
I
know
mean,
Aunt May is young, but
Let's look at how old
is-
Tobey
I
Maguire
think I saw a
is.
recent picture of him. I think he's in his 40s, I do believe.
He is 43.
Yeah, 43. So yeah, he's
And-
definitely in that age range.
That's not her. That's
No.
not her.
That's-
What's
that's
her
Mariska
name?
Hargitay.
What's her name?
Is it
Marissa
Marissa?
Tomei.
Yeah.
That was-
Let me
she's
tell ya.
54.
Okay. Aunt May's a cradle robber, apparently.
Oh gosh.
She's 54.
She looks
So good.
What a legend.
Legend.
Whew.
Skinny
Anyway, so on the other topic, speaking of Mysterio, though, we see a couple different, elemental creatures in the trailer. Now, a lot of people,
I was like, I don't know who the water guy is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, like
But
we
did
see
I
like a
see
Sandman,
I was
Sandman,
like, is that
possibly.
Sandman?
Now it's possibly there's some theories and rumors going around that it's it could be like Sandman, and then I believe Hydro Man is a water one.
Hydro.
Yeah.
And then maybe
Hydro Man, yeah.
maybe like Electro or someone. I don't know. But I highly doubt they throw an Electro. Just
Yeah.
I don't think that actually those are the guys. I think it's Mysterio.
I think so too.
I
don't know what Mysterio does.
He is
in the
just
comic.
straight up.
Illusions.
He's illusions.
Yeah.
He messes
Okay,
with
then that
people's
makes
minds.
sense. That could be him, but wasn't he also fighting the water thing?
Yeah, but think about this. He would be fighting it because he wants to look like a hero.
But why would he go through all that trouble to do that?
Because he's not actually fighting it. He made the water creature. So he's not actually in any danger. Hold on. So it's like, you've seen Incredibles, right?
Yeah.
Where Syndrome was all like, hey, I'm gonna make this thing and I can control the robot. So it's basically exactly like that. Boom, Mysterio, Anastasia.
Yay! Okay.
Can we cancel Tyler's theories for the rest of the episode?
That's probably true though. That's 100% probably the thing though.
Okay,
wait.
I'm gonna go back to comic books, but if you look at the very first time Mysterio ever shows up, that's exactly
Yeah.
what he does.
Wasn't he posing as
legitimately
Spider-Man?
goes, he literally is like, hey,
what a
look,
loser.
I'm going to make something look really real and then I'm going to defeat it. But it's not actually real. And everybody's like, oh, you're a hero. And then he makes everybody turn against Spider-Man.
Yeah. And
That's probably what's gonna happen
That's
in the
actually
movie.
okay.
Yeah, see?
I believe
Tears over
that-
here putting down my theories, but
Okay,
it's fact.
I believe it more now. But I'm also not surprised that Jake Gyllenhaal is playing the most dramatic supervillain in the world.
He's gonna do a great job.
I'm so
Ten
excited.
The
out of 10.
metal, armor and the beautiful purple cape.
And his
Yes,
little bubble.
it's
His
gonna look
little
beautiful.
bubble. I can't wait to see that bubble.
I can't wait to see his fight with Mysterio in the carnival setting because that's like straight out of a comic book. There is a scene in the trailer. I believe it's when Spider-Man's in his
Noir.
stealth, his black.
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah,
That costume looks cool.
it looks super cool because he's got the things that flip down. It's super dope.
It looks really awesome.
But anyway, because there's a carnival setting, and apparently that takes place right after the fight with Mysterio. Because we see Nick Fury and Hill roll up on them.
I love Nick Fury.
Which means that Hill and
They
Nick
come
Fury
back.
are alive.
Yeah. Or is it a different universe? Think about it. Just saying.
Oh
Just
my
saying.
God. That is-
Throwing it out there.
But
I saw this tweet. This is, okay, so you know Casey Fry, the guy
Yes.
on Twitter who everybody is like, they think is really funny.
Yes.
Like, do you know who I'm talking about?
no.
He's the guy. I think I've shown you a video where he does the thing with his shoulders and he's like, "Can I sing for you?" And he starts
Oh,
singing.
yes.
Everybody thinks he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal, and people are like, "Casey Fry should be Brad Pitt in Fight Club, while Jake Gyllenhaal should be Edward Norton or whatever." But people were like making memes of him as Mysterio and stuff like that, and they're so funny. I just have to share that.
No, you're
tidbit
good.
of information is very funny.
Anyway, I think that's really summing it up. I mean, I have a lot of theories. Anastasia,
Yeah.
do you have a thing?
I'm just interested to see how this all turns out, especially since Spider-Man's a New York-based
Yeah,
superhero.
and now
So
he's
how are they
halfway
going to
across the world.
explain the fact that he's somehow in Europe now?
Yeah.
He's
Just so happened.
He's on vacation.
Just so happened.
He's on a field trip.
I mean
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
but like
though,
Spider-Man.
not Peter
Oh,
Parker.
got
Isn't it kind of weird
Yeah.
how wherever Peter Parker
Parker.
goes, that's where Spider-Man's at? Really strange.
Oh.
Never seen them in a room together.
I'm also really pumped for MJ
Yeah.
because
they
I
have-
love Zendaya and I would die for her.
The pictures of them are so cute.
Ugh.
When they're, he's,
Just
like,
just their
saving
small
her
their
and-
small interaction where they were like, I think you're pretty. I think you're pretty too. Like it's adorable.
so cute. I'm so excited.
think you're pretty, Tyler.
Oh, I think you're pretty too.
Oh my God.
But
That
not
was-
as pretty as Tiara,
No, she's the most gorgeous of us
the
all.
prettiest.
That's why she's in the middle.
Exactly.
I know, that's you're second up to the host.
Yeah. She's first, I'm second, and then you're third. No offense,
I
Anastasia.
appreciate it. So I guess we're going to move on. Tyler's theory stressed me out, and another thing that stressed me out.
You like that?
Yesterday was the Ted Bundy tapes. The Ted Bundy tapes interview with the serial killer came out yesterday on Netflix.
Did it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And yesterday was
Know
the
what I'm doing when I get home.
30-year anniversary of his execution date. So I was like, first thing in the morning, like as soon as I wake up for class, it's like the first thing I watch. And later that day, it's only 4 episodes, and each episode is about 40 minutes to an hour. And I finished them like like very quickly, and then like 7 hours later, I got a notification that was like, something you might be interested in, the Ted Bundy tapes, and I was like, I already watched it. Like, it's done now.
You gotta be quicker on the draw.
Yeah, like you gotta let me know before I finish it. But it was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, and I think just because this year is like 30 years since he was killed or executed. I don't know if I like the word killed, because like in referring to someone who was executed, never mind. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
that's
into
a whole different
Let's
discussion.
just
about-
say
I
he was
know.
executed.
Yeah,
Let's just go
so
with
I
that.
was like, I don't know, but anyway, after that happened, so it's 30 years. So not only do we have that that came out, we have the Zac Efron movie, Extremely Wicked. Extremely Wicked is what we're gonna call it because it's a really long title. The trailer for that dropped just now, so we're gonna talk about that in a second.
All right.
And then there's another Ted Bundy documentary supposed to come out this year.
Really?
So yeah, I saw somebody like posted it on IMDb or like posted the screenshot from IMDb, but I don't know what it's called.
Just put Ted Bundy movie and then see
Yeah,
what comes
Honestly,
up.
it'll
it's
come
gonna be
up.
the first thing. Yeah.
There's,
Ted
I don't
Bundy.
know what the fascination is. Like, not that like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, not that I'm saying that I probably won't like look into it because I think serial killers are really interesting. Not that I like them, of course.
mean,
I
you
don't think
shouldn't
you
like them.
can't
No,
like
I get
anybody
it.
who
They're not
kills
great
multiple
people.
No.
But it's interesting.
It's
to
like
say
how
the
I
least.
was watching
It is interesting.
the new Versace.
I still need to watch
story.
it.
Oh my gosh.
It makes me very uncomfortable
hear it's
to
so
watch a
good.
serial killer do his stuff. It's not
Yeah.
not fun.
Did you guys
It makes me very scared for the world.
did you guys hear about the short that got nominated for the Oscars?
Yes, the one about
The two
the
boys.
two boys, John Venables and I don't know the other boy's name, but
They killed
they
another.
killed like a 2-year-old.
Yeah, they
in
kidnapped him from
England,
a
like a
mall.
mall, and there's like the CCTV footage is like out there.
Yeah, it's
and you
creepy.
can find him like them like luring him away. It's really creepy.
I don't-
And
I don't
the
wanna watch
mom's
that.
really upset
Yeah.
because this is like talking about them and not like
Yeah.
her kid.
Right.
And it got nominated for an Oscar.
And it's like, oh gosh.
And apparently the director didn't like go to her.
Which he
to-
should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, sorry, I can talk to her now. And I was like,
That's not-
"Ooh, I'm sorry, dude.
that's not-
I'm sorry. Ooh."
Oh god.
Ooh, uncomfortable.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, the Ted Bundy tape made me so uncomfortable. Especially the first episode, it did this thing that was like, it sort of showed this clip of like Ted Bundy, and he's like in front of the courthouse for one of his various court hearings, and they're like, oh. They're like, oh, do you think you're gonna get away? Like, do you think you're like? They're just having a conversation with him, talking about
Right.
what's going on, and he's like smiling and laughing and like
He was a
joking
charmer.
with him, yeah,
Yes.
and joking with them and stuff like that. And then right after that, the next like edit is, oh, this is what Ted Bundy did. Her bones were found here, and this happened, and this happened, and it's like, whoa, because it's so jarring to see like this guy,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like I'm having a great time, and I'm sort of charming, and then he also did these very, very, very horrific things. Like it was very jarring, and it was like that a lot actually, because you sort of have to realize like sometimes he'll like smile.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he seemed like a decent fellow, and then they're like, he kidnapped at least 30 women and killed them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was
That kind of
Something.
stuff just makes me like, after I watch them, I'm just like, all right, I'm never talking to a stranger again.
Just never speak to anyone who's charming, who never messes up.
Like, they also say he's like good looking or whatever.
Yeah. Never speak. Anyone
don't
you
think
see
he
who's
is.
good looking.
He was okay.
Anyone who's good looking, you can't trust him. All right.
But
Just
he's
goes to
Tyler.
show.
He
Yeah,
had
you
that
can't.
weird-
Oh, thank
He
you.
had that he had a
I wouldn't trust
unibrow
me either.
going on for him.
Oh.
And every I saw a tweet today. It was like, why does every Ted Bundy documentary zoom in on his unibrow?
It was iconic, all right?
The Ted Bundy brow.
He was working it.
So yeah, but
The Bundy brow.
the Bundy brow. Get the Bundy brow. Ooh.
Coming to a theater near you.
He was a person. He was a Republican.
He's a Republican.
Persons.
All Republicans
Are
serial
serial killers.
No, we're
Fact.
just kidding.
No, we're just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding, it's a joke. Just playing. It's Democrats. No. Again, kidding. Please don't.
Okay. What else about Ted Bundy? He
was a dude.
But he was certainly a dude.
These are all facts. Very true.
It really freaked me out. I don't know how to really explain my feelings about it because it just made me feel
Just
icky.
let it out. Just let it out.
just made me feel really icky on the inside, and I was like, I don't like this.
I ain't an adult.
I need it. Like they were talking about how he would like lure people from the beach, and he had like a
They're just having a nice day at the beach.
he had like a sling on his arm, and he was like, "Oh,
yeah.
can you like help me take my stuff to my car?
Oh, no.
Like, I really need some help." I'm like, "I'm a guy with a sling on my arm. Can
You
you
know,
help me?"
I'm trustworthy.
Yeah, and then he would take them to their car and like knock them out, and like they're gone. And it's like it's horrifying. Like it is. Watching it was like. And then you get like survivor testimony, like some girl who was kidnapped by him at like a mall, and she like escaped, and you get her talking about it and stuff like that, and it's so unsettling.
Could you imagine like being her? She was almost.
makes me wanna
brutally
cry.
murdered.
There are
Like,
a
that's
few
terrifying.
survivors actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and like there are videos on YouTube of them like talking. Like there's one of them like on Dr. Phil, and it's like like it's so scary, and but yeah, and it's you sort of get to this place where like oh my god, the part where there are girls outside of the courtroom and girls like inside the courtroom who are like, I don't think he did this. He's a very nice, good-looking, charming guy, and it's like, oh, sweetie.
The fact that there are serial killer fangirls
Yeah,
that
it's bizarre.
like send them letters that are like, oh,
Love your work.
Love you.
and I'm like, oh,
You're
no.
beautiful.
Oh,
and it's like,
no.
that guy has at least 20 bodies in
He
his basement.
Yeah.
looks at you and he wants to stab a knife in you. Like,
Yes, that's exactly what he wants, and it's like not, it's not good. Yeah, and so I guess this is a perfect time to move on to the Ted Bundy Zac Efron movie.
Yeah.
Because people,
Wonderful.
I've seen some tweets today where people are like, oh, I'm interested in the movie, but I'm not sure how I feel about Zac Efron playing him, because you get into this territory where all the fangirls are like, oh, Ted Bundy, he's kind of hot, and it's like,
Ted Bundy kind of killed like 30 people.
and then he might have, maybe it might have been more too.
Probably more.
And it's like, oh goodness gravy. And I just remember like people were like, oh, I don't know how I feel because it's going to lead to these people who are like fangirling Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I
he
mean,
was
it's
played
going to
by
be,
Zac
yeah,
Efron,
it happens all the time. People
It does happen all the time.
romanticize terrible people.
Yeah.
Like when the Joker and Harley Quinn,
don't
that
get me
relationship,
started.
that thing.
That drives me insane, and that's a fake character.
Yeah.
so
So it's super messed up that we
Yeah.
romanticize terrible people.
Yeah,
And the lives that they live.
I tweeted today because I was seeing all those conversations and stuff like that, and I was like, it just gives me flashbacks to when I was like, because I've always.
Sorry.
I've always sort of been interested in like true crime and stuff like
Yes.
that. And I remember going onto like Tumblr or something, just seeing what they had about true crime, and people were like super weird about it. Like they were like shipping serial killers. And I was like,
That's Tumblr.
This is weird. And then I was done. I was like, I'm done. Goodbye. So, Oh, the trailer for the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie dropped. It looks pretty cool.
I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to go watch it.
He looks like it's uncanny. He looks like Ted Bundy.
That's terrifying.
It's creepy.
I mean, like that's
Kind of the point.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. The movie actually comes out tomorrow at Sundance. Like
Right.
it premieres
Yeah.
at Sundance tomorrow, and
that.
so I'm really excited to see where it goes from here.
Do you think it'll ever hit like mainstream like theaters?
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Just because
I
it has
really
a lot
hope
of
so.
buzz, so I know after Sundance it probably is gonna be. Yeah.
Most likely it'll get a
Hashtag
lot.
Don't ship that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Hashtag
don't ship that.
Good.
Because I know they did a Jeffrey Dahmer movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that didn't.
Ross Lynch.
Yeah, with Ross Lynch and Nate Wolf.
Nat Wolf.
Nat Wolf. I knew it was one of the.
It
Wolf
was
boys.
one of the.
Yeah.
They look very similar. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know the difference.
But yeah, I don't, because that one didn't like hit any mainstream things. So I was wondering if
I saw
this one would.
I know.
I don't
Yeah.
know,
I
we'll
would
see.
say maybe this one just because it's a Zac Efron.
Right.
It's-
Yeah. Nobody knows who Ross
yeah.
Lynch is.
Yeah.
He was that one guy on that one Disney
And
show.
everyone knows
Everyone knows it.
knows Nat Wolf as being the other brother.
Yeah.
The one of the brothers. See, I don't even know which one he is.
He's
He's the
the
one
one
from
that was in
Hereditary.
yeah. No, I think he's the
No.
other one. He's the one in
I
Death
thought
Note.
the other one was in Hereditary.
Yeah.
Which
that's-
one is the one in Hereditary?
Wait, was that
That's
the one? It doesn't
Alex.
matter.
I believe that's
it doesn't
Alex.
matter. We don't know who they are. I don't care.
The one in Hereditary is better. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Alex Wolf is the one in Hereditary.
Oh,
And
he's also the
my
one
friend
in.
Dahmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
All
he's
right.
the good one. He's the solid one.
All right,
oh,
so
the
Prime.
other one was the one that was in Paper Towns.
And in
The
Fault in Our
Naked Brother
Stars.
Bands.
Yeah.
And The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh.
And Death Note.
Yeah, he's in Death
yeah.
Note.
The
Oh
Death
yeah,
Note
the
movie.
one in
He's-
Hereditary is the better brother. Okay.
For sure.
Final question. We got to wrap this up.
Okay.
If you could see them adapt a true crime story, it doesn't even have to be crime specifically. It could just be like, because I know for American Crime Story they were gonna do Bill Clinton and his scandal. But thank you, Monica Lewinsky.
Oh,
They were gonna do that, but it got scrapped, so they're not doing that anymore. So if you could see any story like that
Oh, you're dropping that on us
come
right
to
now.
life.
I mean,
Well, not come to life because it's already real
It's
life.
it's a real thing that happened.
But come to screen, which story?
I can just go the very simple, very easy route and say the Romanovs, because I love the Romanovs. Anastasia Romanoff, the Tsar of Russia in the 1900s.
Okay.
I know they've done a lot of those, but
Don't they do don't they have a show like that on Netflix?
it's called the Romanovs, and like I think it's like a what if? Like I think
got
it's
it.
more of a, or maybe it's like a, these people think they're the Romanovs, but I don't think they actually but they're not actually.
Oh, that's-
I would like a true crime of just like, okay, here are the facts. This is what we think happened. This is what everybody thought happened, and just that kind of thing. I can just go easy with that, but I don't know what else would be interesting.
You know, I think. Okay, I have two things.
Okay.
One, Jack the Ripper would be amazing.
Yes.
But then also like this, Princess Diana died.
yeah,
So that's a thing that happened.
Right.
That would be interesting.
That would be very
if they did
interesting.
especially if they did an American Crime Story.
Oh,
on
I
it.
think they might.
Oh,
I think
that'd
they
be
really
so
might.
good.
I think they hinted at it in the latest season.
American Crime Story said, "Hello, my Emmy." Okay. I like what?
Oh, sorry, I have another one.
Okay.
Okay, Natalie Wood,
Oh yeah.
who Christopher Walken knew, and
Okay.
like he was on a boat with her and another guy,
Oh, yeah.
and she just like died.
Yeah.
Like they don't know what happened
Apparently, she had a really big fear of water and
Yeah.
she like drowned to death.
to her. On a boat. Like apparently she went on this boat.
Like willingly, but
Yeah.
she had like almost a crippling fear of
Yeah.
water and went on a boat and then died.
And like no one knows what
Conspiracy.
happened.
Like her mother went to like a psychic type thing when
Yeah.
she was young, and she was like, "Your child is gonna die in water."
Yeah.
And so for the rest of her life,
That
she
would
had
be
like
a
this
wild
she had this
movie.
crippling
Yes.
fear of water and then drowned to death.
So-
And nobody knows how it happened.
Yeah.
That would be wild. Like,
I remember
like I
that.
mean, obviously that would be like heavily like fiction, but
Yeah.
because they
No
don't
one
know what
knows.
happens.
Yeah.
But that would be, that would be incredible.
Yeah, and so for me, I don't know. I really like. I do like unsolved mysteries, and so I like BuzzFeed Unsolved and stuff like
Oh,
that.
for
There's
sure,
a
for
story
sure.
of the Stoddard children, which is like this giant family that like went, like half of them, like there was like a fire in their house, and then like half of the family went missing, and like they couldn't find any of the remains in the house, like where they thought the family was.
Right.
And so they went on like this thing where they thought the family was like, they had like the children had been kidnapped or something because the father had like ties because he was like against Mussolini and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
and like the Italian mob and stuff like that might have been involved. Nobody really knows.
Yeah.
So-
that one would be really cool.
So it'd be really interesting to see something like that. So that is it this week
Well.
for the Real Deal podcast. A little dark, a little fun as well. But we will be back next week with more guests, more topics. So for this week, I'm Tara Spells,
I'm Tyler Landis.
And I'm Anastasia Scott.
and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.